1, 2, 3, 4.
Chant down Babylon Kingdom. Team make we chant down Vatican now. Bang bling bling chant down Babylon Kingdom. Team make we chant down Vatican now. Chant down Babylon Kingdom. Team make we chant down Vatican now. Bang bling bling chant down Babylon Kingdom. Team make we chant down Vatican now.
What up, y'all? It's Babble On Five Podcast. It's your boy, Jermaine Event. This is episode 163, and unfortunately, calling this bad boy Gangstas Paradise. As you guys should have known, Coolio, rapper Coolio, just passed away. We're going to talk about that this week. I'm going to talk about what Coolio means to me, ladies and gentlemen. What does Coolio mean to your boy? That's what we're going to talk about here today. Episode 163, Gangstas Paradise. Also, we were going to talk about UFC Vegas 61. Why was there no regular people or reporters allowed into the arena? We're going to talk about that, as it was headlined by Mackenzie Dern versus Yan Xiaonan. We're going to talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to talk about some great fights on that card. We are going to talk about some pretty great fights on that card indeed. No fights next week, unfortunately. I don't know why they have to do this to us, but there's no fights next week. I can't give you my amazing predictions for those fights. Well, I could, but I'm going to wait for next week to give you predictions for that card. They usually don't. It's hard for me to find the full card. Maybe Tapology. Tapology usually has it. It's probably the best. That's my favorite site these days, is Tapology, I would say. But we're also going to talk about this very amateur scammer that I came across. I almost forgot about it, but then I was like, let me just put this out here in the ether so people are just, like, aware. Because, like, if you even just, like, listen to this podcast, you would have seen me talk about my friend who got scammed online. And what I was seeing was, like, bro, everything in here immediately says this is a scam. Everything in here. And it's like, not everybody like me went to, like, a certain random ass school that I went to, and that school just so happened to be a computer school, and I used, like, Apple computers, like Macintosh computers, since been pimping. The first Macintoshes that we had they were big white towers, kind of box things. It was like the monitor was a big ass white box, and it had the rainbow colored Apple on there. Those were the first Macintosh computers we were using. Well, all I'm saying, my point is that I've been pretty computer savvy my whole life, so I guess I don't often take into account that what seems pretty amateurish to me, to people who aren't there, who don't have this experience, you know. We even just did, like, internet security at work the other day, and you know what I'm saying. And so just things that seem really obvious to me, I failed to see that people didn't have this conditioning, you know what I'm saying, that I had. People didn't grow up with this condition. Maybe now, I'm saying people my age, or especially older than me, they didn't grow up with computers. Kids these days grew up with a fucking cell phone, the internet, in their hands. I asked, like, one of the younger people at work if people still pass notes. And they looked at me crazy. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Pass notes? Nobody passes notes, nigga. You text. You got Snapchat. You know, niggas have instant communication right there in the palm of their hands. They never have to, like, be embarrassed about handwriting. It was just like, there it is. You know what I'm saying? Here's a text message. The trending emoji, is if that's what they're called. I'm from the 80s, ladies and gentlemen. From the 80s. I'm 89, but from the 80s. It was a good month. If you guys would like to follow this podcast on Instagram and Twitter, it's at Babble On Five Pod. You guys can email this podcast at babblon5podcast@gmail.com. And if you guys would like to hit that like button, 5 stars, whatever it is, wherever you're listening, just let everybody know you love the Babble On 5 podcast. I appreciate that so much. It's, just minimum effort from you, and it would mean the world to your boy. If you guys would like to follow your boy, if you believe that I will not lead you astray, head on over to Twitch. If you have Twitch, follow your boy at twitch.tv/BabbleOn5. If you guys want to cop some merchandise, head on over to teespring.com/stores/BOFpod-shop. And lastly, don't just be my Niji, be my patrons. Head on over to patreon.com/BabbleOn5pod and you can be my patron today. As I said, ladies and gentlemen, I was trying to queue up these things. I'm a little fucking high right now. I wanted to say those that legal shit, that like Delta 8, Delta 9, it works. It works, because I'm sitting here like, holy fuck. Coolio. Ladies and gentlemen, we've unfortunately lost Coolio at age 59. It was crazy to me because I don't even know if I want to get into like, he was 5 months before he died. He did this interview where he talked about how like he was trying to expose the industry and this and that, and how his son had gotten arrested and they were trying to give him all this time, and it was for a minor offense, and he felt like it was because of what he was doing, so he backed off of what he was doing, and his son was allowed to go, and he said like he stopped getting these like weird emails and shit like that. Like, said shit just like stopped. But then what he said 5 months ago was like, now he's ready to talk about it. And then he fucking goes to his friend's house, which I wasn't even sure. I thought it was kind of, were they saying he was at his friend's house, or was he at his manager, who happens to also be his friend? He's at his manager's house. He went to the bathroom and had a heart attack and died. How long was this nigga in the bathroom? If by the time he showed up in the bathroom, he was dead? How long was he in that bathroom? If this is the story, it just sounds weird to me. It just sounds weird. You hear weird stories like this sometimes. Anywho, it's neither here nor there. It's neither here nor there. Coolio is gone. All right? Coolio is gone. And I'd say that, like the first song I ever, I've said it here, first song I ever memorized was Gangstas Paradise. That's just what it is. First song I ever memorized word for word was Gangstas Paradise. First party I ever got roofied at was at a Coolio concert. First time I ever got roofied was at a Coolio concert. Them Delta 8s and Delta 9s be working. And the first time I did stand-up, my big joke was about how I got roofied at a Coolio concert. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of history in my life to Coolio. But mainly, it was like in that time, Gangstas Paradise was just a huge record. very influential. As I said, it was first. I memorized it word for word in kindergarten. Kindergarten, nigga. I've always been really good at memorizing lyrics. As you know, when I was with the crew, I would always, I'd be the hype man for niggas, for everybody. Because they knew they had to just give me the song like an hour before we went on, and I'd have most of the lyrics down by then. I'd have the most important parts down by then. I'd help you keep your verse going if you get lost. They already knew that. And you know, it's that song was just so dope. I listened to it over and over again. And in kindergarten, I had Gangstas Paradise memorized. I think like yeah, man, it's just wild. It's just wild. I'm happy I got to see him at Mad Planet. It was fucking $15. $15 to see Coolio at Mad Planet. How could you not? How could you not? You know? And now your boy is gone. I want to say rest in peace to Coolio. Just trying to bring a little light here in the situation, but rest in peace to Coolio, man. You know, I was wondering, why did Dana White say there could be no press, no regular people? None of these regular ass people are gonna be at UFC Vegas 61. None of these dusty ass apartment ass people are gonna be in this audience. And he was like, I'm not telling y'all why. And then when they interviewed Mackenzie Dern was like, oh yeah, Mark Zuckerberg rented it out. And she was like, but I don't know anything else from that. Because the rumor was that Mark Zuckerberg rented out the UFC Apex and was going to do this metaverse shit at the UFC. And it turned out, though, that Mark Zuckfuck, the answer was yes. Mark Zuckerberg was going to be there. Dana White said that was bullshit when Mackenzie Dern said that he rented out the Apex, but that's exactly what it was. Mark Zuckerberg did not want you regular ass apartment motherfuckers. You're not sitting next to Mark Zuckerberg or his wife, who was horrified watching them fights. It's just all the videos, all the clips of her just flinching so hard. She's terrified of what she's seeing. But Zuckerberg's he's just yucking it up. He's just yucking it up. And then here he is in photo with Dana White, of course. And then I didn't really heard anything else. Because, you know, they did not allow for press to be there with Mark Zuckerberg. They did not allow it. But Mark Zuckerberg was there, shining in attendance, right behind the fighter. I think in the blue corner. He was just like in camera. It's pretty weird. It's pretty weird that he would let that happen. I mean, you just let billionaires just rent out the UFC Apex like that just to be the only niggas in there? That was just a weird, I don't know. I mean, I guess they've done pandemic shows with no audiences. So I guess it's not too foreign at this point, excuse me. I guess it's not too foreign, but why? If we're talking about UFC Vegas, we're talking about UFC Vegas 261, my nigga. That was some pretty good fights on this card. We got Chelsea Chandler here. Looked like a monster in this catchweight 140 fight against a 135 fighter, and now you might say, what's the difference? That's just 5 pounds. Chelsea Chandler looked huge over Julia Stoliarenko in there, and And even if that's not the factor, I picked Chelsea Chandler to win that fight before even really seeing the size difference, like before they were in front of each other. What's unfortunate for a featherweight, a 145-pound fighter, is there's not too many places to go. You got Norma Dumont, Macy Chiasson, and bam, then you're in a fight with Amanda Nunes. And how do you even really get ready for that fight on this level? Who prepares? Who can you fight? Like, where's the steps in progression to show me that you're ready to fight Amanda Nunes? And I'm not saying that Chelsea Chandler can't. She very well could. But what I'm saying is, like, we've seen it with, like, Megan Anderson. We've seen it with Felicia Spencer. And y'all know I'm probably one of the biggest Felicia Spencer fans out there. I was rooting for her like a motherfucker in that fight. She's tough as shit, and I was like, she's gonna do it. She's gonna get her jits on her, choke her out. I thought she was still gonna make it happen. I was hoping, you know. I was fucking sad when she retired. I was hoping she was gonna sign with. Well, no, I don't know if Eagle FC are gonna. Do they have female fights? I don't believe they do. I thought Spencer was gonna sign with somebody, not just retire, but. I say it's just like wasted potential. Pretty young for Felicia Spencer to just not fight. If that's the case, to just like never fight again, I feel like she's still got some years left. Anywho, as I'm saying with Chelsea Chandler, it's like, thankfully she just popped back on the screen there. There's not many places to go other than Amanda Nunes. I believe she's 5-1 now. Is Chelsea Chandler's record? You know what I'm saying? 6 fights. I don't know if that tells me enough that she's ready to fight Amanda Nunes. That doesn't mean she's not fully ready to beat Amanda Nunes at 145 pounds. There's nothing left but to see it. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing left but to see it. And if it happens, it happens. So I'm not saying no to that. Also on this card, we had Brendan Allen submitting Christoph Jocko in the very first round. I'm a big fan of Brendan Allen. Also, he did train in Milwaukee here, and as I said, I always root for the guys who train here, even though I know it seems like I've turned my back on Macy Barber. I soured off how Macy Barber's and her family, especially how delusional they came off after the Modafferi fight. I felt like they never really they never even gone back on that a little bit. Like, not even a little bit. Like, there was some holes there, and clearly you know that there was holes at this point because you've switched camps and you've improved. Like, I don't know. I guess that is the going back on it right there by switching camps. Seeing that there's something you're not getting from the camp that she was currently at the time, or she was formerly at, if you will. But Brendan Allen, beast. Brendan Allen, I don't know where he trains now. I saw that he was training with Michael Johnson. Shout out to Michael Johnson for getting back in the win column these days. I think he lost his last fight, though, if I'm not mistaken. Anywho, Brendan Allen submits Christoph Jocko, and he calls out either Andre Muniz or Anthony Hernandez. And honestly, either fight would be great, but I would personally love to see Brendan Allen versus Anthony Hernandez, man. That would be a sick fucking fight, dude. If they're not ranked, I don't think either one is ranked, but they should be right on the cusp. Maybe this isn't... Brendan Allen has victories over Kevin Holland. He's got victories over some real good guys. And people say he has, no fight IQ. People make mistakes, but I think Brendan Allen is very skilled, very talented in that octagon. So I'm a big fan, and I would love to see him versus Anthony Hernandez, man. That would be, dude, that's a whole lot of fight in there. A whole lot of fight. You got Randy Brown defeating Francisco Trinaldo. Pretty tough fight for him, for the most part. 44-year-old Francisco Trinaldo. I apologize for disrespecting my boy Francisco Trinaldo. I was just like, oh, he's gonna be like so much smaller than him, and the skill, man. Randy Brown is a great striker. I almost wrote in here that he's like a less refined Adesanya, but then he's better. I would say, from what I've seen, he's a little bit better at the jiu-jitsu. He's able to sweep and then get into a more advantageous position for himself. I like Randy Brown in there, but it was a tough fight in there. Tough fight against Francisco Trinaldo. Pretty tough fight. Apparently there was a fence grab that I missed. Apparently Randy Brown grabbed the fence in the first round and prevented himself from being taken down. So it's a pretty egregious foul, but I didn't personally see it, so I guess we're going to let it go. In the main event, you had Yan Xiaonan defeating Mackenzie Dern, man. It was a pretty good fight. Well, it was a pretty entertaining fight. And it's interesting because, yeah, even at post-fight, you got Mackenzie Dern saying she should be finishing. And you should be finishing. The whole calling card for her is that she's this jiu-jitsu ace, and she gets her opponent in these positions so many times, but she just can't get it done. We saw it with Hebas. Like, she gets these people in these positions, but then, like, if they just have, like, any bit of, like, competency on the ground, she's not able to submit them. And she's supposed to be this, like, amazing black belt at jiu-jitsu. And we've seen her get into these. When she had Jan's arm twisted up like that in her leg, had the fucking shoulder wrenched out, and then was working another fucking, going for like I think she was going for her neck on the other side, like with her arm. It was fucking wild, all right? But she wasn't able to finish. She shows great technique on the ground, but she's not able to finish, and she should be able to. Being like someone with such high-level jiu-jitsu, she should be able to finish in these positions. So I think what the issue when I see Mackenzie Dern fight is, it's not necessarily how slow she is, not necessarily. It's just that Yan was a lot faster than her. I think it's her wrestling, maybe her judo. Those are things she needs to work on, because she's not too good at getting her opponent down. She's really good at submitting your opponent, but getting your opponent to that position where you can try and find those submissions, she's not good at that. So that's a huge hole, but I really fell for it. It was pretty exciting. I wanted my prediction to be right there, where I said Dern was gonna outclass her on the ground, and then we saw her like get into some cool positions, but at the same time, she wasn't able to finish. She was not able to finish, and she lost that fight. I don't know, and it seemed like her ground and pound didn't really seem to be too damaging. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was getting off some, like, little patter punches. But it's like, if you could get in those positions and really do some damage, like, I felt like there were so many missed opportunities, because her whole fucking game was just to distract with the punches so she could go for the neck, or go for that, or go for this, trying to look for her to make a mistake. But there was, like, no real power coming from those punches, unfortunately. So, I don't know, man. There's a lot to work on, and it's like, take your time. I feel like she's got time at this point. I think she just take her time, because there's a lot to address here. I mean, she has improved significantly in the striking. I don't think that's where the problem is. The problem is how you get the fight to the ground. You need to get that takedown game, like, more It needs to be more effective so people respect it. But even if you, like, Jesus Christ, you can't, like, you got to really hurt your opponent here. You got to try to go for that TKO with these, throw some elbows in there. Because these little patter punches, a competent person on the ground is she's just covering up, moving. You're not really, like, hurting her. I don't know. It was an entertaining fight. I thought Dern was going to pull it out at the end of the fight there when she almost got the arm bar, but then Jan was able to pull her arm back out. She was able to just muscle her arm back out of there. I don't know what happens for them next. It was a pretty good fight. I think Dern should take some time off. Just to train and improve on skill, you know? How do you get into those positions where you can then get a finish? Because just having that credential but not really having a route to implement it is, you know, you're just wasting your time. So I think she takes some time, but it's not like she can't address it. She's come very far in her MMA journey. You know what I'm saying? She's come pretty far so far. So, not hating on that. No fights next week for UFC. I did catch a little bit of Bellator last night. I was watching Spike Carlisle versus AJ McKee. And all I was thinking, man, you know, we had AJ McKee talking about he wanted to fight all these UFC fighters. And I'm like, if Spike Carlisle is giving you this much trouble, man, I don't know. Like, his low-level UFC fighters was giving Spike the business. You know what I'm saying? They're giving Spike the business. And he was giving him some trouble. So that was pretty that was a pretty entertaining fight. There was a lot of there's like 2 10-8s. I think two different judges gave 2 10-8 rounds to McKee. I didn't see that. Even when he was like in positions where he was like on top of him in the grappling exchanges, like, I didn't see fucking Spike was defending himself. He was moving out of positions, getting up, like, he was fighting back. He wasn't just, like, being dominated on the ground. That was not the case. I didn't understand those 10-8s. I didn't understand this scorecard at all. It was, like, 2 30-26s. That's just one 10-8, right? Yeah, for each judge. 30-26s, 2 10-8s in there. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What fight was I watching? I didn't watch the Pitbull fight because I had to. I was gonna go to work in the morning. I went to work this morning, so I was just like, yeah, I don't have time. Just didn't see that fight. Just went to bed. That's how that was. I'd be like not knowing. I was like, what network is Bellator on? Do I have an app? You know, I think I had an app on my old phone. Yeah, I thought I had a Bellator app. I don't even know how to. I'm sitting here like, how do I watch this fight at first? How do you even do it? My streaming sites don't even recognize it as a sport. I'm like, how do you do it? How do you do it? But as I said, if you guys if you guys have listened to the episode where I talked about my friend who got scammed for like thousands of dollars online. And as this person was speaking about the messages that they were sending this person, I was just like, what the fuck? How do you not see that they're trying to scam you? It all looks like a scam. I'm on guard anytime somebody hits me up online, my nigga. I'm on guard anytime anybody hits me up in general. You hit my phone, nigga, what's the angle, my nigga? I'm Kurt out here. Real short with these niggas. Anywho. So, like, as I said, I went to a school that we were always on computers. And because of that, I just, like, I'm a little more computer savvy, I guess, than some people my age or at least older. And so this person on Instagram, the Instagram account is Chula_MMA. And I'm like pretty sure, I'm like 1,000% that this is the person that's running the account. The name of the person is Rosalind Shavira. This is the person's account. This is the fighter's account by all means. So I looked it up. This is the person who's running the account. But what I'm saying here is my disclaimer is I don't know if someone has hacked this person's account and was then trying to scam me through this person's account. But this is the thing, like, I'm on guard the second you even hit me up. This is my thing. Because when this person, Chula MMA, added me, I figured, like, at the least, I got a couple thousand followers on Instagram. So at the very least, this person wants an interview. Otherwise, I was annoyed. All right. Oh, yeah, here we go. I got these messages right here. Put those on the screen. So I was fucking annoyed. You know what I'm saying? When this person hit me up, you know what I'm saying? Like, hello or whatever. I was like, hey. They were like, how are you doing? I was like, yo, how can I help you, my nigga? How can I help you? I ain't got time for this shit. Don't be hitting me up. I'm just cautious. I'm real cautious. When anybody hit me up for any reason, nigga, I need to know what it is. I still feel the burn when somebody I thought was a friend tried to get me in on a fucking mid-level marketing scam. I was like, this nigga thought we was cool. Why you trying to do that to me? I don't trust niggas hitting me up. So, when this motherfucker hit me up in these messages, as you see here, nigga said I'm hungry initially. And I was like, excuse me. Then the nigga said, like, oh, I sent this to the wrong person. I didn't even reply to that because I believe I didn't reply to that. It was like, all right, I don't care for this conversation, you fucking psychopath. This is where I'm coming from. You fucking psychopath. Fucking message me. Takes a lot to win your boy over. When you're just a fucking stranger. You know what I'm saying? You're a fucking stranger. I assume everybody I see online is a fake person. Until I have reason to believe otherwise. You just fucking fake. You got fake pictures up there with fake people you've never even met. So this nigga hit me up talking about like, yo, I'm up for a fucking ambassadorship contest or whatever. And I'm like, that's the fakest shit I ever heard. But the nigga's like, yo, can you vote for me? And I'm like, I say sure. Fully aware that I'm never gonna fucking vote for anybody. Anybody hearing me right now, even if you got a real fucking contest, don't hit me up I'm not voting for you. I'm not going to no fucking 889.com, nigga. I'm not signing up for shit. Don't send me anything. Don't send it to me. I'm not going there because I'm fucking paranoid online, nigga. And what I do know, right, is that when this nigga fucking sends me, I should call everybody nigga, lady, man, I'm a nigga, he's a nigga, she's a nigga, because we're all niggas, hey. And so I call everybody nigga. So when this nigga hit me up with this shady ass link here, that's the shadiest fucking link I've ever seen in my fucking life. And I'm like, nigga, you can just hover over that shit and see there's gonna be some bullshit. And the nigga sent me a message talking about all you gotta do is log in. And I'm waiting to see like how it goes, nigga. I'm like, look at this, look at that bullshit. Like, all you gotta do is log in and confirm your vote. Like, nigga, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. You don't know who the fuck you talking to. I blocked that motherfucker. But what I'm saying to y'all, if y'all fucking in contact with this Chula _ MMA, potentially the fucking whatever MMA fighter, Rosalind Shavira, this motherfucker's trying to scam, hack into my fucking Instagram and fucking rob me. Look at this shit. I hope the FBI gets this shit. I don't wish I don't wish police contact on anybody, my nigga. But for this bullshit, look at this shit. Cause I be posting about fights and shit. She's fucking trying to fucking scam and rob me. I hope they throw the fucking book at her. I want my niggas out here in the internet fucking MMA community to fucking just be aware of this motherfucker. I seen one nigga that I be seeing online. He did an interview with her. So I'm like, this is a real person. You know what I'm saying? This nigga did an interview with her. And it was all connected to this it had this handle right there in the interview. So I'm like, everything's telling me that fucking person, Rosalind Shavira, is out here trying to scam niggas online. And I want my niggas to be aware. I want the fucking FBI to be aware, my nigga. Alright? They out here trying to scam niggas. I want y'all niggas to I'm letting y'all niggas know, man. You could just hover over that link. Any link these shady ass niggas send you, nigga, hover your mouse over there. Don't click it. But it'll show you a preview of what the bullshit is. If it's a good link or not. Dude. It's all there for you. If you want it to, it'll do it. The technology is there. We've come to a place. We've been there. We've been there for a long time. People just don't care to get to know their instruments here by the look of it. So this is just like an amateur-ass scam. But what doesn't look amateur to I guess it probably doesn't look amateur to a lot of people. There probably could be a lot of people that see this as a real person who does interviews connected to this fucking Instagram handle and is out here trying to scam niggas. And there's people in the community that would potentially be like, oh shit, I'll fucking vote for you, and would actually go there and fucking enter in their information here. And then homeboy just fucking just robs you blind. Robs you fucking blind. It seems fucking obvious to me, but it clearly isn't. I just want y'all to see this fucking bullshit. It's gross. Hope they throw the fucking book at her. Throw the fucking book at her, ladies and gentlemen. What are we doing out here? What are we doing out here with these amateur-ass schemes? At least try to sell me some new-ass cryptocurrency, nigga. What's the new shit going on? Not some fucking, I'm up for an ambassadorship contest, nigga. Who the fuck are we talking to? We talking to the nigga that I fucking stole a nigga's hip-hop form. Yeah, that's me. Jermaine Event, the main event. All right, X9's. That was his handle. Nigga, we I'll tell the story. We met. I don't know if I told it here. Probably did, but we was on a Big L forum back in the day. The niggas would do verse battles. I'm pretty sure I talked about this here, and and then they just like talk about music and shit like that, and then that shit got shut down because they once. Like Big L's family or some shit like that, the moderators saw that niggas was putting up albums and shit. It was like a free market for music, all kinds of shit. They shut that shit down immediately, said we was disrespectful to the site. And one of the niggas, X9, started his own forum. And I just naturally navigated to that forum. But what was crazy was like throughout the years, me and X9 had just like naturally would have beef with each other, and we were also like the wackest rappers there. Like my pen game was just absolutely trash, but like they would like shit on me, but then like there would be a few niggas that would like critique it in a way that I've taken to heart. Not like it like shit, I never let it go. It was like, oh shit, he's like that advice is pretty good. One little piece of advice that I got from there in like high school, he was like, stop writing about how dope you are, how good you are. If I'm listening to you with the faith that I already think you're that good. Just like, you don't have to keep telling me that. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, fuck. That's amazing. Just be dope. Like, that was something that I just thought about forever. Just be dope in it. Fuck that shit. Just be dope. You don't have to keep talking about it. Just do it. But as I'm saying, me and that nigga X9, like, we always had beef with each other for whatever reason. We would always beef with each other. And I saw on the new forum that he was running that if a certain person posted in a certain thread constantly like contributing in a certain thread, he would then make that person an admin. So then I went to the host site and created my own forum secretly. Like, never told anybody about this forum, because the whole point of this forum was just to see that if I then made another user and like an admin, but not the full admin, just an admin, like a co-admin, would they have full access? And then could I then ban like me, the real admin? And the answer was yes. So I forget what I was even posting about. Probably some hip hop shit. And I would just always try to comment. And I said I said to myself, like, it can't just be forced. You know what I'm saying? I have to like comment something here, comment on that topic, and then tomorrow maybe comment on one topic, wait a couple days, comment on another topic, and like just certain days be a little more active, and then just like stay off of it. And I was like, then like after a couple months in a random thread, I saw someone complaining that they had been contributing to this other section a lot, and they weren't made a mod, but this other person, admin, but that person was, and they don't contribute at all anymore. And the person was like, yeah, you're right, and made him an admin, a co-admin. And I was like, yo, I contribute over here a lot, and you haven't made me an admin for that. And he made me an admin for no reason, just made me an admin. And I instantly banned X9. And then I thought, well, I have to ban everybody else at that point. So I had to ban all the other admins. Anybody else that would have access to ban me or unban him, I had to ban, so I took over the site. I was the only admin left. And it was dope because, right before I did that, he made the forum pretty cool where it had a chat box at the top of the forum. So even if you weren't like contributing in the fucking threads, you could just talk shit in the chat box. And even though I blocked him from the site, he still had access to the chat box. So he's just sitting there like, what the fuck's going on? And, and I stole this nigga's site, and I'm just like, just loving every second of it. He was in a panic mode, like, give me back my site. Oh, it was a great day. I'm telling you, months of plotting. And that's the kind of nigga you send a bullshit ass ambassadorship contest to? Nigga, no. I'm not that nigga. You sent it to the wrong nigga. I plotted for months on that site. I stole a nigga's whole website after months of plotting. You're going to have to come harder than that. You're going to have to come harder than that, sweetheart. If you guys would like to follow this podcast on Instagram and Twitter, it's at Babble On Five Pod. If you guys would like to email this podcast, it's at babbleon5podcast@gmail.com. If you guys would like to hit that like button anywhere that you're listening to this podcast, or 5 stars, however it goes, I'd truly appreciate it. If you guys believe in me, head on over to twitch.tv/BabbleOn5. If you guys, I guess I could play some 2K. Maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to go to the gym later. What time is it? It's 8. Yeah, I'm trying to go to the gym like right now. Yeah. And if you guys would, I don't know. I mean, I just don't be having time for 2K right now. If you guys would like to cop some merchandise, head over to teespring.com/store/BOFpod-shop. And lastly, if you would like to be my Niji, or not just be my Niji, you can't just be my Niji, you gotta be my Niji. But don't just be my Niji. Be my patrons. Damn, my lips crusty as a motherfucker. I'm over here hating. Talking about, I'm too tech savvy, and I'm crusty ass lips this whole goddamn rant. The crustiest lips on the internet. The crustiest lips ever on the internet. The crustiest lips ever. Yo, shout out to Conor McGregor. The most power ever on Twitter. The most power ever on Twitter. That nigga be on some fire coke by the sounds of it. And on some potent ass roids by the looks of it. We talked about that last week. He's not being tested. And he posts these little voice messages. The most power ever on Twitter. He just posts these weird little voice messages. But I'm going to see you guys next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. This is episode 163, Gangstas Paradise. Rest in peace to my man Coolio. Let's give him one last look before we go. Rocks with my boy, man. Started me on my real hip-hop journey. It's not a fad, it's a lifestyle. Rest in peace to the man himself, Coolio. And I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves and each other. And I'll see you when I see you. I'll holla.
Chant down Babylon kingdom, team make we chant down Vatican now. Bang bang chant down Babylon kingdom, team make we chant down Vatican now. Chant down Babylon kingdom, team make we chant down Vatican now. Bang chant down Babylon kingdom, team make we chant down Vatican now.